Good morning, everyone. Silver 5150 here on the Silver 5150 channel, and this is your morning update. Quick update. A lot of cities are going on lockdown now in the United States. They're following Italy's lead, and they are going to start telling people to quarantine in place and only having very, very minimal essential resources in place. Of course, first responders, maybe, some gas stations, smoke shops, all the things that matter. In the markets right now, we've got a lot of green shoots in the equity markets. Looks like central banks are going to be able to put together enough money to keep the markets green today and avoid some of the carnage that happened yesterday. It was one of the biggest losses on Wall Street in history, percentage-wise anyway, mirroring 1929. And the rest of the markets today, it looks like gold and silver, after just, being relegated to the ninth rung of hell in terms of spot price, it looks like they're going to climb out of the pits today and try to post some gains. Looks like precious metals going to try to post some gains. But if you look on the retailers, like I was saying yesterday, guys, there are premiums, the premiums are starting to spin out of control. You want a Silver Eagle now? You go on to APMEX, it's going to run you probably about $24. Okay, so spot price is in the 12s, and the premium is $12. So this tells you that you need to start grabbing what you can. On that note, a special shout out to Small Fry 2020. He reached out to me last night after I responded to one of his videos and stuff, and trying to sell some numismatic gold to add some silver to a stack. I think it's a brilliant move. I really do, because silver, the way silver is priced, it may not be rarer than gold, but it looks like it's going to be out of retail, unavailable, before gold becomes unavailable because of its price point. It's something that all the people can reach. And remember, I said that silver is for the people. Gold is for the governments and for the leaders and for the big fish out there, but silver is for the everyday folks. And, everyday folks, as well as some of the big fish, they're reaching and grabbing and they're clearing the shelves. So this week is the week. If you want to buy some, please buy some. If you need to reposition your stack, you've got, a lot of gold and you want some silver. If you don't want silver, you don't have to buy it. Gold works very well. Fractional gold works extremely well. Stick with your stack. If you like platinum, keep your platinum. If you like your rhodium, keep your rhodium. I wouldn't, because rhodium's about to take a dump. But palladium also is taking a horrible hit. Oil is down in the 28s, $28 and change a barrel, guys. I haven't seen these prices probably in about 6-7 years. Bonds right now, they're kind of moving around a little bit. It looks like the interest rates are going to pick up a little bit, even though the Fed dropped the Fed funds rate. The interest rates on, the charts, they're ignoring, that action. It's just like the spot price is being ignored by the retail price in metals and stuff. Just very strange times we're living in with with the markets and with this coronavirus. Let's see what other markets are there out there right now. The dollar is just taking everything to the woodshed. The US dollar, the USD, man, it is on fire. It is about to hit a 100 handle, which is very, very strong. So, repeating myself again, if you got extra dollars and there's anything you need at this point, even if you need a set of tires a year from now and you can find them for a good price, grab them and put them in the shed. It doesn't matter. Just, grab durable goods with your strong dollars and get that stuff now. If you have to order it online, whatever you got to do. And if you're a stacker, you know what I'm telling you right now. Take them strong dollars, man, and put them to work. Because you can find deals. I wanted to say something really quick, too, about the different types of coins out there. I know there's like a lot of high premiums now. Premiums about the same price as spot when it comes to silver. But take a look at some of the nicer coins that you were after, the ones that already had premiums on them, and notice that those prices have come down quite a bit. You're not going to save money trying to buy entry level or, just generic non-numismatic silver right now. What's going to happen is you're going to save money on those specialized coins, not the real collectible ones, but say Rwanda or some of the ones Libertads that command higher premium. You can take advantage of better prices on those because the spot prices cause the premiums to come down just for a minute. All right, so if you're going to get silver, again, get on it. The topic for the day is hyperinflation, folks. Hyperinflation, of course, you can see we have here is Zimbabwe Reserve Bank, $50 trillion note. I don't have the $100 trillion. Actually, I think I do. I just don't know where I have it at. But I've got all the different denominations of notes, thanks to the broker. He got those for me. And I used them, of course, as, education tools. Because this did happen back in the early 2000s. Zimbabwe went into hyperinflation. Now, Hyperinflation looks different in a lot of different places. For us, what I think it's going to look like is helicopter money. And helicopter money is going to be basic living allowance. This looks like where the world is headed to try to get this coronavirus. They're asking everybody to stay quarantined indoors and self-quarantine and self-contain. And cities are being, locked down and curfews and all this stuff. Well, people can't get to work and they can't pay their bills. So one of two things is going to happen. They're going to have to either start forgiving a lot of debt, and I'll explain to you what that looks like in a minute, or they're going to have to start providing people with a way to pay those debts if they're still being collected. Now, here in the United States, we are just now at the beginning where we're going to try to figure out, how we're going to have people handle this, people, like I said, stay indoors and all that. But what's important is the deflation we're in now leads to the hyperinflation almost every time it's tried. All right, so the deflation right now, of course, is, lower prices and everything, a strong dollar, and the dollar, can buy everything, right? But the problem is the dollar is buying everything. People are buying everything off the shelves they think they need, and so there's a lot of economic activity going on. There's a lot of money velocity going on, which is good, for the dollar. But the thing is, what happens when you're printing more dollars, and that's what QE is, and that's what the Fed's doing when they're bailing out the banks again, and all this, when you have all these extra dollars chasing after fewer and fewer goods and services. Fewer goods because these are things off the shelves, fewer services because a lot of places are having to close because of the virus. But you still have all this money sloshing around out there. That's where your hyperinflation starts to come in. Hyperinflation comes in now because now you have less stuff to buy, less things to do, but more than enough money to do it. And so people start outbidding each other, like the housing market in 2003 and 2004 when people are having bidding wars over homes. It was jacking the price up on everything. Well, that's going to be on everything. People are going to try to grab the last Q-tips, the last Kleenex, the last, fire extinguishers, whatever they got to have to survive, and they're going to be, trying to outbid each other with dollars over it, and that's how hyperinflation happens. Too many dollars chasing after fewer and fewer goods and services. But it's even worse than that. What happens when you have the government issuing basic allowance for subsistence to people, and then what happens when that happens? And you have debt forgiveness. Now, what is debt forgiveness going to look like? This is very important. If you don't listen to any other part of this video, guys, hear what I'm about to tell you. You pay on loans, whether you have student loans, whether you have a mortgage, whether you have, a signature loan or any type of loan out there where you've borrowed money in a fixed, and you have a fixed payment on it, right? The only way you incur penalties when you don't pay the loan is that they increase your interest owed, either quarterly or monthly, or they increase your interest rate, and that's how you pay penalties on being late or not paying the loan. Now, I don't know if student loans quite work that way, but I do know you incur some penalties if you don't pay these loans, on time. But what if an official came out, say presidential level, and said, for now, I'm declaring a moratorium on all interest payments on all loans? Well, he hasn't forgiven your debt because you still owe the debt, right? But what that means is because you're not having to pay any interest because interest is not allowed to be charged on you, you will never incur any penalties no matter how long you take to start paying off that loan. Which that means is you can defer your payments to that loan for as long as necessary, for as long as that law is enacted. So again, I'll repeat. If the president or someone, on that level, if they do a G20 thing and the UN Secretary General comes out and says that, whoever says it, whether it's your governor in your state, it's got to be that leader of that area, the country or the state or, what have you. If the language in their speech says that they're putting a moratorium or they are removing any interest payment requirements on your loans, that means you can defer your loan for that entire time that law or that action is enacted. Doesn't mean you don't have to pay it. At some point, you will have to pay it until they either extinguish the old system or extinguish debt, in a full-on jubilee. But if you hear the words, there's no interest payments required on any loans that you have, that means that you can just stop paying those loans for a time, that's the law of the land. And then once they reinstate it, you have to start paying again, but you won't have any penalties. So I hope I made that clear. I'm going to stay on top of this, and I'm going to find stuff, that's going to make more sense of what I'm telling you. But that's what you're listening for. You're listening for officials to come out and say that you don't have to pay interest on any of your loans until further notice, and that's going to be pretty much the road to hyperinflation. Not having to pay that stuff, and all the extra capital is going to be coming in form of helicopter money, whether they start doing a basic allowance for income for people and all that. So enough yammering here. I'm gonna let you guys go on and get on about your day. I'm gonna get to work myself. But tonight I've got something special for you stackers out there. I've got what is possibly the world's smallest monster box. There's my hand. There's the box. Does that say Royal Canadian Mint? I think it does. All right, guys. Be here this afternoon, and we're going to find out what's in this baby monster box. And we'll see ya.